And serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
We begin with breaking news as police are investigating a case of arson in West Fargo. The call came in around 8 o'clock on the 700 block of 10th Avenue West. And when fire crews got there, the homeowner already had put the flames out using a garden hose. Damage to the house didn't appear to be extensive, but within the past hour, investigators with flashlights went back to the house. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie has been there as well, and she joins us live with the very latest. Courtney, what can you tell us?
Hi, Mike. I've been here for about an hour or so. I've been watching police investigate. Most of them just left moments ago, but they've been walking around the part of the house where the fire broke out with flashlights. Now, they're definitely looking for something, but obviously at this time, they couldn't tell me what it was. They were also walking around talking with neighbors. And, you know, I did speak with the police chief, and he tells me that unfortunately tonight, this is all the information that they're going to be releasing right now. I did ask about the suspect and the suspect's vehicle. Unfortunately, they couldn't give us a description on that either. Despite the damages to the house, the lights are on and it looks like the homeowner is back in the home. We'll have more information as this investigation continues. For now, reporting live in West Fargo, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks, Courtney. And look for updates on valleynewslive.com and tomorrow morning on the Valley Today. A man is recovering tonight after getting his foot injured in the auger of a combine. It happened as he farmed near Buffalo, North Dakota this morning. The incident is a wake-up call to all farmers, especially those rushing to get their weather-beaten crops out of the ground. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie has our story.
While the days are getting shorter for most of us, they're getting longer for farmers who say it's crunch time. Terry Savageau has been farming for 45 years, soybeans, wheat, and corn. During all those years farming, he's luckily never been involved in any kind of serious accident. But that's not the case for all his fellow farmers.
When something happens to another farmer, you always worry about it. You should always shut your machine off if you're going to check anything, but there's times, you do get in a hurry and you might forget, and that's when accidents happen. What's leading to the rush to get stuff done is this stressful harvest season, and the wet fall is just making it even worse. A lot of crops are still in the field and the clock is ticking.
We have to keep in mind that this is kind of like a marathon rather than a sprint, and if we're going to continue to get that crop harvested, we need to make sure that we're pacing ourselves.
Combines, augers, and tractors alike. Ken Helvang says these machines are so powerful, farmers don't stand a chance if they get caught in one. He also tells us it's oftentimes the farmers who've been doing it the longest that think they can get away with doing something they probably shouldn't. But it only takes once.
On a farm, you're the owner, the operator, you're everything. And so it's easier to cut corners and think, well, I'll get by this time. Unfortunately, that's not true.
Although many farmers' livelihoods depend on getting these crops out on time, some farmers tell us it's not worth your life. In the Southern Valley, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
And it's important to make sure people who are new at the job are properly trained so they know the hazards of working with dangerous equipment. A Fargo man's in jail tonight accused of burning his mom's house down. Tate Smith-Nerline was arrested this morning while breaking into a business at the Fargo Industrial Park. 24-year-old Darcy Ellis was also arrested. The owner of the business warned both that they were on her surveillance camera and should leave before cops showed up, but they didn't.
These guys got charged with burglary charges, and all they had they're going to show for it was a pair of recycled T-shirts and I think a couple pairs of slacks.
Not surprised, but yes, still surprised that anybody would cause a fire.
Investigators say Smith-Nerline has mental health issues, and court records indicate that he has threatened to kill himself, family, and friends. In 2017, Smith-Nerline was in a police standoff, and SWAT was called in before he eventually surrendered. He was sentenced to 6 months behind bars after he pled guilty. The search continues tonight for a Bemidji teenager who's been missing for 3 years. 17-year-old Jeremy Jourdain was last seen on Halloween night in Bemidji. Police have investigated 150 tips, and they say it's just like he vanished. He was last seen at a Halloween party. Investigators are still actively looking into this case, and if you have any information, call them. The phone number is there on your screen, 218-333-9111.
A little more superstitious, you could say.
A Moorhead man is second-guessing what he believes in after capturing on video what he says is some kind of spirit at a popular tourist destination in northeastern Minnesota. Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer talked with the man and showed his footage to experts.
So this, appears to me to be like an arm.
Miles Holverson decided to take a trip to Duluth and visit the historic Glensheen Mansion. It was his first time there, and he was blown away by the intricate details of the iconic and posh home. But it wasn't until the next day, when he was looking through pictures and videos he captured inside, when he noticed something that caught his eye and gave him goosebumps.
I don't see anything when I'm actually there, but in the video, I see something that looks like something that has human form, and it's moving, and it has this illuminated or glowing head of some type.
Holverson has always been a very skeptical person. He has a degree in science.
It's outside the tourist rope zone, because the rope is right there.
But he says he had a hard time finding an explanation for what he saw.
It's not a jacket. Had the director of the place confirm that it wasn't a mannequin or some object that they had.
But he wanted some more information. So he sent the video and pictures to a ghost hunter out of Texas. And he says they agree with him. There's something going on there.
If you get close to something electronic, maybe even the camera might pick it up.
But here in Fargo, we contacted a team of ghost hunters, and they're a little more skeptical.
My first impression is it looked like a stationary figure. The arm was holding steady, and it looked like the camera was moving a little bit, and it just looked like a mannequin.
The team is called Fargo Ghost Chasers, and they've done their fair share of investigating paranormal phenomenons. They use all this equipment to tap in to the other side.
We do a lot of EVP work, voice recorders here.
They've also visited that same mansion. And while they're not convinced Holverson's video shows a ghost, they do say they believe the place could be haunted.
I could feel like almost being stared at.
As for Holverson, he says his experience at the Glensheen Mansion has been a life-changing one. In fact, he says he's never going back there again.
But he says since this experience, he's now a little more aware of those things that go bump in the night. In Fargo, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
The Glensheen Mansion was built around 1905. It was the site of 2 murders in the late 70s. As for our Fargo ghost chasers, they all have their own story about what got them interested in the paranormal, and each one brings something different to the team. And through their years of investigating, they say one thing is certain: ghosts are real.
We decided that we shared this common interest and decided to start going to some of these supposedly haunted places.
If you're questioning something strange in a photo or hear some unknown noises in your home, contact the Ghost Chasers. They encourage people to email any questionable pictures or video, and they'll investigate. A 9-year-old Minnesota boy is back home after a trip of a lifetime. Atticus Flamm critically burned his face at the age of 3, but that hasn't slowed his dreams down one bit. He was just flown back from Florida thanks to the organization Kids Dreams Come True. Such a trip was a welcome break during his recovery. Atticus is expected to go through 100 procedures and surgeries during his lifetime, but for now, he's reflecting on his fun in the Sunshine State. And here's some good news for you. If you live and drive in Southwest Fargo, another stretch along 52nd Avenue will reopen after months of road work. This will have an impact on getting around that area. A single lane will open tomorrow afternoon from Veterans Boulevard to 63rd Street, and the remaining lanes will open in the next couple of weeks. Various speed limits will be posted along 52nd, so keep an eye out for those.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with no wait weather.
Well, not too many tricks in our weather this Halloween evening. The temperature's not too warm, so it wasn't much of a treat either. But the winds, at least in the FM area, not too horrible. The temperature right now 37 degrees, feels closer to 30. The winds are 10 miles per hour or so from the west-southwest. Here's a look around the region. We have mid-30s in the Cheyenne River Valley for Valley City. Gwinnett at that 36-degree reading as well. Jamestown 38 and Langdon 34. Right now in Grand Forks, it's 36, 33 in Bemidji and in Baudette. As we take a look at a little bit of snow showing up on the radar, this has pushed through the valley now and still left with quite a fair amount of cloud cover across much of the Red River Valley and central portions of North Dakota. Any snow chances look like they'll be best along the international border and along the South Dakota border, although not all of that is reaching the ground. So we have a little weather wiggle working its way through the valley as we head into our Friday. And there's a big wiggle moving along the eastern seaboard right now. We have snow that caused travel disruptions in places like Chicago moving along on the backside of this system. But here, the leading edge of the cold air, we have numerous severe thunderstorm and tornado watches still in effect in places like Washington, D.C. and the Atlantic seaboard. This cold front right here that brought a surge of cool air well to the south is prompting frost and freeze advisories and warnings, and even some cold weather as far south as Houston, Texas. Here's a look at your hour-by-hour forecast overnight. The cold air continues to pump in. Can't rule out a renegade flurry here or there. Temperatures dive down into the 30-degree range. More clouds than clear skies as we begin our Friday. However, a lot of these are the low cloud variety. And then as we head through the morning hours, we're going to notice an increase to those northwest winds as opposed to south winds that we saw through the region today. That's going to usher in some more Canadian air, and that's going to reinforce the cool that we feel. So it'll be a chilly lunch hour, and in the afternoon, those winds really pick up. Anywhere you see these green arrows here, Jamestown down towards Lemoore, Oaks, all the way up toward the Devil's Lake Basin, you could see gusts over 30 miles per hour in those places. Elsewhere, gusts to around 25 miles per hour with hit and miss splotches, if you will, of snow flurry activity lasting until the evening, and then that should quiet down. Here is a look at your hour-by-hour forecast for Fargo. Friday morning, upper 20s, mostly cloudy skies. Northwest winds really start picking up as we go into our afternoon with gusts to around 25 miles per hour. Temperatures peaking in the upper 30s and then cooling into your evening. 33 tomorrow afternoon on your way home from work in a cloudy day in Devil's Lake. 35 Jamestown. Lakes Country will see low to mid 30s there. The challenge continues for producers. Some areas of ground getting hard enough to put the big equipment out on there to try to harvest what you can. Heidi capturing this in Fairmount on a very frosty and chilly morning here in late October. Saturday, 40 degrees. We turn our clocks back. It looks dry. Sunday, dry weather and 41, about like we saw today. But Monday brings another weather-making system. We could see some light accumulations the way this weather maker looks on Monday. And then we turn even colder with lows in the teens and highs in the 20s by later in the week.
It's coming, and I don't like it, but
it is November now.
Yeah, thanks. Up next on Valley News Live 10 at 10, firefighters are continuing to battle the fires up and down California, including several that began overnight.
You're